For sure, for sure. All right, moving on to the last topic, man. Skyler Diggins, guard for the Phoenix Mercury, man. She just recently, congratulations to her. She's recently had her second child, so big ups to her. But she's going through some problems with the Phoenix Mercury, man, and they're not allowing her to use any of the facilities while she's on maternity leave. And I feel like that's a problem, D'Lo. What you think, bro?
So this is a topic that is complex. It
Very
is
much
complex
so.
because
Very much
when
so.
you see it, when you first see the headlines, you're like, yeah, this is definitely a problem. But if you really give it some thought, it's like, okay, you look at it, you have to look at it in two ways. The first way is if she was a regular 9-to-5er. The second way is if she's a professional athlete. As a professional athlete, absolutely, she should have access. She should still maintain access to the facilities and the resources that the Phoenix Mercury offer. And you would think that the professional franchise would want her to continue to have access to that, especially if she's coming back to the team. Just so happens that she's on maternity leave. And so with her having access to that, she would be able to continue to train, get herself back into playing form, consult with team doctors on different scenarios that she may be going with, wait, she may need to consult with team doctors to figure out different scenarios she may be experiencing along with her personal doctor. But then also, she said training table or personal chef. So, making sure that she's
eating right,
properly neutralized, right? Not neutralized.
Have proper nutrition.
Her nutrition is proper.
Mm-hmm.
So professionally, you would think that, but then when you come back to the real world, and if you read what the coach said in a statement that was asked to her about Skyler, she said, we just want to make sure that Skyler is doing well and that we give her the space that she needs.
The space that she needs,
and not contact her at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you come back to the real world, that's typically how it is. I wouldn't go so far as to say when a woman or a man nowadays that have paternity leave, not that they having a baby, but jobs do offer paternity leave. I was on paternity leave for quite some time when we had our son, but you typically they don't bother you at all. Like you don't have any type of communication from your job. They may reach out to you personally saying, hey, how you doing? How's everything going with the baby? This and that. But as far as constantly being in communication with you, you don't typically see that happening. But now the part that's kind of confusing is, are you allowed to be in a facility? I would venture to say I don't think they would have an issue with that, as long as you're just coming in to say hi and bye, but not to actually partake in any of the things that go along with the role that you serve. Whereas with Skyler, she would be coming in to actually work out. She would be coming in to actually be with some of the team and then also be a part, take with the doctors and the resources. So it's just confusing because the two worlds blended together. You would think this makes sense for her to be a part of it, but then with all of the different rules that come in place with mat leaves and stuff like that, it's like, so I don't know. I don't know where to go with that.
Me personally, I think it's dumb. Honestly,
yeah.
Skyler Diggins is one of the best guards in the WNBA. Has been since she's been in the league, and has been since she was at Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Just because she had a child and she's on maternity leave doesn't mean that she shouldn't be able to use the facility as far as consulting doctors, getting therapy, working out, keeping her game sharp. If anything, I would expect her to be I would expect the Phoenix Mercury as an organization to let their best player on the team, their best player on the team, use the facility to get back in shape, to get back whenever she comes off this leave. I think it's stupid. I don't think they should do this. I think it's dumb. If I was the owner of this team, yes, Skyler, do your thing. Go and get in the gym, go work out with the coaches. If you need anything, let me know. You know what I'm saying? But still take your leave. But I do want you to be in tip top shape whenever you come back. I know there's a such thing as postpartum depression. I know you're going through that too. That's why you're taking the whole year off, in opposed to the 9 weeks that you did whenever you had your first child. I get it. I'm consulting my player. This is my best player on my team. And you think I'm going to keep her from using my facilities and getting back in shape? Hell no. I'm not doing that.
I mean,
she's going to be able to use any facility she wants when if she my player. But regardless if it's the best player on the team, any woman, if you want to use the facilities to get because you're under contract with me. And I understand that the WNBA has different contracts and they have certain stipulations. If you have a child, then you have to take this leave. And to me, that part of the contract is just dumb. Because they're women when it comes down to it. The biology says that if they want to have children, they're going to have children, and they can take off as much time as they want. But for them not to be able to use the facility, that's crazy to me, dog. Yeah. And they already don't get paid as much as they should. They already don't get paid as much as they probably think they should get paid. And for them to not be able to use the facility that's awarded to them in their contract, now they have to take some of that money that they're not making to pay for nutritionists, to pay for trainers, to pay for other doctors outside of the facility. Like, they have to take all of that into consideration within their budget now, because you're not allowing them to use what you gave them. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off from your point.
No, you good. I'm not disagreeing with that part of it, right? I'm saying if you think about how it goes on both sides, how it goes on the other side as a regular 9-to-5er, I don't know if the job can communicate with you on an ongoing basis when you're on maternity leave. I know that you can have some individuals reach out to you on a personal level, but when it comes to the job, I don't know if they can technically reach out to you. They're supposed to give you your space.
Okay.
But when you think about it in a professional athlete standpoint, I don't see why they would not be able to use it. One of the things that I did read, and why I think it could be an issue, is another player earlier in the year kind of indicated that she was bullied, manipulated, and then traded after she had her child.
I heard that. I heard that story too.
Yeah. So, and ironically, she went to Wake Forest. So it's like the WNBA, you want to root for them, but when stuff like this happens, kind of makes you question some of the rules and laws and contract stipulations that they have in place of why it would be like it is. And again, I didn't go through any of the rules. It just my opinion came on it, and I try to look at it from both sides and say, okay, well, professionally, this shit is stupid, but a regular 9-to-5, is this how it would be? And I think that is, they're not supposed to mess with you. So the WNBA trying to say, okay, well, we got into this trouble with this player, like with the Aces, the coach was suspended for 2 games and they lost 2 draft picks. So I think, since that happened, now teams are like, well, we don't want anything.
We're gonna be hands off. Yeah, we're gonna be hands off, and I get that. I can understand that from a business standpoint. And whenever you have something else going across the league, and they were made an example of, then you don't want to be that next example. I can understand that, but in a sense of, and I have never gone through paternity leave myself. And D-Lo can speak to that, better than I can. So I don't know the content that they're supposed to have and what they're not supposed to have, but. You don't have to have no contact with Skyler at all. You can let her. She has access to the facility. Just let her go do her thing, and you can check on her how you want to check up on her. But as her boss, you don't have to be in any contact. If you want to give her space, give her space. But if she wants to go in there by herself after hours and just work on her handles, do her drills, or call one of the trainers to give her treatment, or call the nutritionist to say, hey, what can I, what do I need to be eating? Can you put together a nutritional plan for me? Like, if she wants to do those things whenever she's and not with the team, you should allow her to do that if she has access to the facility. That's all I'm saying.
The question then comes is, what if she goes in there and has some type of postpartum complication? I don't know what those are, but so then who's at fault for that? Is that the Phoenix Mercury or is that Skyler Diggins? You know what I mean? I'm playing devil's advocate. Devil's advocate, I think is wrong. But all these questions start to come into play of why would a professional team implement this? Why would they not allow her? And then you say, okay, well, is this one of the reasons, like I just mentioned, or is this another? You just a lot of different questions come into play when you think about this stuff of why they would do this.
Nah, for sure, and I just think it's like the WNBA has so many issues that they need to work out to show these women more love when it comes to the just these women as athletes alone, because a lot of these women are they're having to supplement their money by going overseas. You know what I'm saying? A lot, Brittany Griner, she was over in Russia. She was just playing ball out there because she wasn't making enough money here. So she was supplementing her break. She was getting paid more overseas to play ball than she was getting paid in the WNBA. And that's supposed to be the highest of the high that you can get is in the WNBA. But she's making more money going overseas and playing. So it's like there is so many things that's wrong with the WNBA as far as contracts, as far as pay structure, as far as people actually watching the games. Because if there was more eyes on the sport, you know what I'm saying, from the general public, from the general population, then they would make more money. You know what I'm saying? If people bought jerseys, it's got a lot to do with us as a general public, because we're not showing it as much love as we should, but it also has a lot to do with the WNBA itself and how they're actually running the organization. So I think it's stupid, man, but we'll just have to see how everything plays out with Skyler. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully with her speaking out and going on social media and actually saying something about it, they may amend some things and let her do her thing, but I don't see that happening either. But it just sucks, man, how they treat these women in the WNBA, man. Like, just because they having a baby doesn't mean they still can't be, that doesn't mean they're not still your employee. And you still have to show them some kind of respect. And I feel like Skyler was speaking out on that, and she had reason to. So I don't like it. I don't think D'Lo does either, but he's playing devil's advocate because he knows how it goes, because he was on paternity leave before. He understands that because he's done that. I have never been through that, so I just think it's dumb just off GP. But I don't know,
think
man.
it also brings it brings into perspective the bigger picture of maternity leave and how women are treated in the workplace when they have children, or how they're just treated in general because they can have children. You think it's getting better, and I think you would think it's getting better, and I think that pay gaps, maybe I shouldn't say no, I think that pay gaps are closing, but they still reside because of the ability for women to leave or to have that time off when they are on maternity leave, and the possibility of them no longer being available because or out of commission seems kind of they're just not there in the office because they have the ability to have children. And I think that's why paternity leave is being pushed so much, because if the man now has the ability to leave, it kind of puts men and women on the equal playing field when it comes to a child being conceived and being brought into this world.
Yeah. So we just have to see how that plays out, man. But WNBA, man, get y'all shit together, man, because y'all need to take care of these women, bro. For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, there's a video on the screen right here. Go ahead and click on that. I think you're going to love it. Also, you can find us on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcasts.